Whoa, whoa, whoa. Looks like we do have a little bit of drama to kick back to enjoy. Coming from the WWE releases, Cora, Jade, and Gigi, they did have a little bit to say in the midst of the aftermath. So I know y'all probably saw it, but just to confirm on my side of things, and we got to sit around the table because I feel like I don't know, in some sort of way, I just can't let this slide and go by. I feel like if and so sort of because at the time I did make a community post about it. When it comes to who was a part of that, because as we usually know around this time of the year, WWE, it's spring cleaning time. Gotta brush away those edges, and they had their usual, and they had their usual releases, their mass releases, and it made its way to that. Also made its way to the roster, and with Cora, Jade, and Gigi Dolan being a part of those releases. You also had Braun Strowman and Shayna Baszler, Dakota Kai. No surprise there. With a couple, with some other ones. I also did see that dumbass that talked shit about bringing the Samoans in there. The Wyatt family. You know what I'm talking about, the guys, especially the top ones, like Jey Uso and Jimmy and Roman, all that. I hope he better hope the higher ups and like Triple H and Nick Khan didn't see that shit, but I did see that, and him being an utter bitch, deactivating and deleting a tweet, of course, because that's what they do. They talk a whole big bunch of QE nonsense, and then they run away like the sourpuss, creamy, soft inside bitches that they are. Because of course, because I say of course, he was looking for a bit of a brownie points from the IWC, and then came in to had a recollection, so like I said, I did happen to catch that too when of course, when the whole, like I said, just more so of the drama with when it comes to the WWE releases, but I get clarification, because I hate that these girls. I guess in some sort of regard that you can defend yourself to when it comes to, I guess, and I mean, because it's not to say you can really say it, but I guess they probably say it themselves, but it's also pretty evident that they do probably work hard. I know Gigi Dolan kind of did, even if it also, in my opinion, wasn't enough, but I'm pretty sure they tried to do. They did what was asked of them, Cora Jade and Gigi Dolan, and went upon their way. But I'm really here. The reason why I'm really just bent out of shape about this, with Cora Jade in regards to what she said about her apparently being body shamed by her coworkers, her boss, the bosses, and wrestling fans. And okay, really getting into that, okay. I understand. And I probably said this, of course, I said because I'm still pretty new on this space. I'm still really new in getting my name out there on social media. But I mean, I practically always had, so I'll really regard this to a mindset, because I've always had the mindset about, I support also in this case too, I've always liked women characters. Even in all my media, I've absolutely, in some way, I've always had more so favoritism, and I've always liked, like I said, in all the media, I've always liked women. Always. Whether in outside of sexual appeal, of course, when it comes to that, because, not to, that was also another point too, but when it came to being just a representative figure, I always, especially in this, like I said, in this case, I always liked women, and especially in this case too, like I said, I always had women characters in such a high regard, and I always liked women wrestlers. I've really, really liked women's wrestling. and will continue to do so, to put it on a high such regard. I may have a difference of opinion and a different point of view when it comes to nowadays, especially when you have women like Mercedes Moné and Becky Lynch that may say that has that that botched, just that really diseased type of delusion that women deserve this and women deserve that, based off of just a sense of entitlement that they don't really deserve or need, or it's just all about it's just all about being seen in a light that they want people to necessarily praise them for whatever, and it's just about give me. That's all it's about when it comes to that. But back to Cora Jade with the body shaming and Cora Jade. Like, I get it, and I've seen the same thing in difference. I've seen the same thing in other mediums and areas of entertainment. What I've seen actors, I don't know if y'all know the girl, but she is one of the actors today that's really huge, like Jenna Ortega, because I heard her say something about about being of course, of like Hollywood, the old Hollywood, which I also agree with too, of old Hollywood having that mindset, or having that, just the glorification of, when it comes to just, I guess, young women or young women in general, but women being sexualized, and also them had a sort of character, a sort of woman character, that whether it is based off what that was all glorified, and that was mainly, or she said something, yes, she said along the lines of women characters, or coming from old white men that were portrayed in one aspect, and whether it was to make whether it was made out to be ditzy or dumb, pretty much, like the whole blonde woman trope, like she said something along the way about teenage girls being ditzy and dumb, or something along like that. But what the problem I have with that is, and I kind of agree with that, because that's been a thing, and it really has an impact, and it's really, like I said, just one of the many other things, I guess. But in that case, when it comes to women, and just women being such under the microscope, and beauty standards and things among that nature. But the problem, of course, what I have with is that she participated in that culture. You played the dumb ditzy teenage girl, and also sexualizing yourself. I said, this other girl also could say the same thing, and this new it girl, Mikey Madison, but playing in she just it was like a film about her being a stripper and shit like that, and dedicating it to the sex worker community. I said, wow, the amount of outrage, let me just say, the amount of outrage that, of course, you see for fucking women's wrestling from these fucking idiotic, dumb-witted, just, mentally ill fans in wrestling today, the IWC. Wow, you see the outrage that we get when it comes to certain situations like this. Wow, I wonder, and because I don't know if I know, but yeah, when it came to the film and Nora, like I said, it was about a stripper, and she had a nepo baby, and it's a long story with that too. But you had a whole film about a stripper basically, and it had such explicit scenes too, where her shaking her ass, and literally had a whole twerk and half-ass naked scene, stripping of the girl stripping. And you had a film like that one film of the year, when there was so many other films too that was obviously much greater in that regard. And you had a movie, a stripper, basically basically take that award, and you have such a, also, like I said, film, it's glorifying, basically, yeah, it's what they say it as, a woman being sexually gratificated, And you saw, of course, it's all because it was all dedicated to the sex worker community, and as such, prostitutes, as you will, women who sell their bodies, that's independent and that's strong. What a woman. And like, oh, I see. Oh, I see. Selective outrage. Yeah, that's yeah. What? Okay, I see here. And like, and you can apply that same logic here. First off, I say, like, what? Do we have any of the proof? Like, not like, yeah, of course that matters too. Like, where's any of the proof of it? Of course, it just also boils. Oh, damn, my bad. It also boils down to just that, like, because of course, bro. Because of course you have to. Because it's not even about that. Because you also have dumb fucks. Like I said, being on social media, primarily Twitter, or whatever, just like Twitter, because that's, like I said, aside from TikTok, is the most popular social media app. But you have literal dumb fucks that it's not even about the mental illness. It's just because, like I said, social media is so ingrained into pop culture that you have every dumb fuck out there that's trying to go after Elon's pennies, and they'll say the most out there, and to try, like I said, whether it's to fit in for extreme validation, or it's to get engagement farming. That's what also, like I said, because half the shit is not even genuine. Like, you see these simps and these dumb, like, under Cora, Jade, and Gigi. Oh my god, they were so my god, we're here for you, okay? WWE was so wrong in what they treated you. Oh my god. Hey, let's say, even if they are genuine, like I said, bro, it's all about brownie points. It's all about trying to get their favorite wrestler to notice me. I'm defending you, Cora. Gigi Dolan, I'm defending you. Oh my god. That's it's not even fucking genuine. Like I said, it's all fucking engagement for me. Like I said, where is the proof? Like, what are you even talking about? And like I said, like, being that it's an industry, and I get it also, because some of this is true. When it comes to companies, and you have to appeal with also to a certain aspect, like, especially, I guess, to bring modeling and beauty standards into this, that you have to compete for, being in such an industry that, yeah, I mean, how you make your money with professional wrestler too, like how you make your money, your body plays also into a part of that. Your body makes you your money, and you have to be in tip-top shape performing condition for that to be a thing. And yeah, like, you may, like, of course, it just goes back to the whole thing of, like I said, small wrestlers, and even the whole infamous feud, real life, and whether it's kayfabe or not, with the whole CM Punk and Triple H type of deal. Like I said, I get it, but also at the same time, let's say, not that it's their fault, but it's not like you. I said, whether like, I like Gigi Dolan too, and kind of Cora Jade, but let's be honest, they didn't do shit. Just like the wrestlers who were released didn't do shit. It's all a business, and they weren't contributing. I said, what it looked like to me, because, y'all probably already know, but, like, coming from her, her being in a former relationship with Braun Breaker, because it looked like to me, you were more interested in, NXT dick. You were more interested in hopping from NXT dick to the next, to the one, from one to the next, than to actually working on your craft as a professional wrestler. That's what that seems very harsh to say, but that's what it looked like to me. Is that's what she was doing. And you have nobody to blame but yourself. I said the same thing with, like, Dakota Kai. That's all she got. Like, all she kept doing is kept getting injured. That's, like, literally like they literally hired her back for nothing. What, she's been there for like 2 or 3 years. Triple H brought her back from getting fired again, and that's all that's been the story. Is her. That's all that's been the summary for the last 2 or 3 years. Is her getting injured and being out. Just like everybody else, that Triple H brought back and released, fired, let go for nothing. Brought them back for absolutely fucking nothing. And like I said, the same ordeal here. What are you really getting upset over other than to get, like I said, the sympathy, like, woe is me. Oh, they body shamed me. I'm a woman in such a male-dominated sphere. That's been a male-dominated sphere. They body shamed me. I'm a woman. Oh my God. You're all so mean to me. And like I said, this is a bunch of horse shit. When we know all the actual reason. So please, fuck out of here with that nonsense. And it's like, I now see why. I do see that was some of the criticism when it came to somebody like a Cora Jade. Because, yeah, she just goes along with that, just that modern day type of mentality, the mental illness, to where, of course. And it just also goes to that, because also that interview when Sean was talking about, oh, you have these NXT wrestlers that, they're just, they rather, it's just, they make a fuss. Because I remember that interview with Shawn Michaels when I think he was talking to Undertaker or something like that, and he was talking, or the phone call, and he was talking about, like, how that they complain so fucking much. And, it's ridiculous, because, of course. And, because like I said, of course, you have everybody running to the aid over these wrestlers, too. Everybody runs to the aid when we don't really actually know. Like I said, regardless if any of this is true or not, wherever, it's just all about sympathy votes. That's what it's all about. It's all about validation. Because more so, like I said, because of social media, it's pop culture now. Every dumbass can have a bunch of other dumbasses, be validated, they all can be validated now. What a fucking joke. What a joke of a world. What a clown world is also, what a clown world that we live in today. Because that perfectly describes the landscape today.